Alright, this is for Liam Davey. The first thing that I would say right off the bat is that you've got a good idea of, your blending of your shapes and things like that. One of the things that I would really work with is your darks, or use of darks anyway. Um, and what I mean by that is you're using black to shade, and black generally is not a great shading component because uh, it has no it basically muddies everything. So in areas like, let me grab a red here. So in areas like this right here, especially along where these colors are joining, that's causing some issues. And then on top of that, what I would do is, I'm just gonna grab there we go, grab a brush here. And the first thing I would do is I'm gonna just do some color changes here. So we're going to add in, and I'm just going to use these. I'm going to do some color balancing here, and we're going to go in the shadows, and the shadows will pull the dark tones out. And I'm going to say preserve luminosity, and I'm going to add a little bit more blue in there. And do you see how? And I'm going super blue. Let me see if that. No, yeah, let's do this. So I'm adding more blues in the darks and a little bit of red. And it's very subtle, but you can see how those blues are starting to pop out a little bit more. We can also go into here and add in, let's see here, maybe we got a color balance already. Let's do something like a levels here. But what I'm going to do for the levels, excuse me, is I'm going to go in here and I'm going to select color range. And we're going to go in here and I'm going to select the darkest color, like so. And that's going to select that. And then we're just going to grab some of something like that. And that color range now is going to, we're going to change that just by flattening it a little bit. And then in our RGB here, I can just add that blue in there and just kind of, there we go. So between those two, you can see that you're going to get a lot more depth going on in there. The next thing that I would have to do, or talk to you about, is the lighting situation and the cloth here. So the lighting situation, the thing that I say right off the bat is you should have a lot more light going on as a whole. So I would do, let's do color range. I'm going to go back to these guys here. I'm going to do select color range, and we're going to grab this and something like that. And let's do something like that. So by grabbing that color range in there, and then I'm going to let's do a brightness contrast in there. And so by doing a brightness contrast, I'm just going to super bright this like this. And I'm also going to add in there with that mask. I'm going to hit Control for that mask. And I'm going to also do a hue saturation change. And we're going to switch that color to be kind of this yellowish color like so. And if you have this on separate layers, it's easier to do. But with that in mind, now I'm going to go into hardness here, and I'm going to pick a black color, and we're going to actually, let's pick the opposite color here. So I'm going to kind of tweak some of that out like so. And back here, we're going to pick the black. Oops. And we're going to, oops, I don't know why I didn't pick the black. There we go. There we go. And we're just going to kind of pull out some of these colors here, like so. And I think that really pushes what you were trying to go for. And then we do the same for the brightness contrast, like so. And then I'm going to lessen this, and let's do a little bit of color on here. And so you can see the variant difference between the two, like so. So you're getting more color range, you're getting a better vibrant feeling and tone. And then the other issue that I have right off the bat is the way you've done your fabric here. You want to grab some reference for that, because right now it looks like he's kind of got something going on underneath the sheet, and you want to definitely fix that. So what I would do is I would look at like a toga or something along those lines, go into the images for toga. And so you can, by doing that, you're going to grab, let's see, let's do a new layer here. Let's grab some of this, and we're just going to pick one of these dark colors here, and I'm just going to kind of piece some of this stuff together here. And like so, and I'm just doing a real quick job here. I'm not really worried about it. But then I would add in some of these highlights in the front where you've got these type of things going on. So then, yeah, that's a little bit too bright, but let's kind of change the opacity of that so it's not so, so it's not so, I don't know, let's tweak and play a little bit. But I would definitely use reference for that. The anatomy for the chest and the neck and everything, that looks good. I would also probably add in some of your shadows here. So let's do reverse this, and I would definitely kind of pull some of these shadows out here like so. And so you get a better idea of the way the light is, especially back here. You could probably tweak some of that, and I'm just going to see if we can grab some of this here, like so. Oops, I don't like that brush in there. But so you can get a better idea, a better concept, just by changing up the idea of fabric folds, using the light source from the tendril here, and actually cast some of that onto the character. So what I would do is I would add kind of let's go in here and add some of this bright pink here, here, and here. And and maybe even up under here type of thing. And then we can give that a soft light or even a overlay, and then clean up the highlight that's coming from it. And then the other thing I would do is add some of this, so you've got maybe a little bit of shadow coming in here and a little bit of shadow underneath, and that's going to define it a little bit more, and it's going to give you, I think, what you're looking for as far as the shadows that you want. All right, I hope that helps.